All of the eyes in college basketball were on the state of Alabama this weekend as number 1 Auburn went to take on number 2 Alabama at Coleman Coliseum. We may never see this again between Auburn and Alabama. We might not. I hope we do. I hope we keep getting such great basketball in state. And it's not just these two teams. There's teams in first place that are littered all over the state of Alabama. The game lived up to the hype. Auburn did kind of control it through and through, even though Alabama did come back and Auburn punched back. But seeing game day there, seeing these two teams, when I have watched Auburn and Alabama be football schools, struggle in basketball for the most part, there were some flashes of brilliance. Just to watch the aesthetics of it, to watch the coverage of it, to watch the enormity of how important now college basketball is in the state that I'm from, in a sport that I've loved to watch. And you, Blaine, you've known me my whole life. I have always loved college basketball. I was just so proud as an Alabamian. Obviously, Auburn, it was a great game, right? Second half was a little bit better. Auburn jumped up 9-0. Bama came back. Auburn was up 9 at halftime. Auburn jumped out in the second half. Bama came back, and then Auburn was able to put it away. But I'm just just absolutely blown away by what Bruce Pearl and Nate Oates and what these two universities have done, not only from an investment standpoint, but from a result standpoint, right? And now what do you see? And we're going to get to yours, Blaine, but LSU's going to keep Matt McMahon, and they're begging to spend money on college basketball. It's a great sickness that is spread all throughout the Southeastern Conference. It was amazing to see. We may never see it again. But it is just, I'm still just blown away, man.
Man, that was cool. That was a fun Saturday to watch. Two things. One, how about your voice being in the Auburn hype video?
That's the thing. It's my first basketball one. We're in all the football ones, but
yeah, that was our first basketball
That one surprised me.
And two, how did it go watching with the wife?
Well, we watched it in separate rooms.
Okay.
I watched upstairs. She stayed with the baby downstairs, but I do got to say this as well. Viola, my newborn daughter, she was born on January 10th. And her first ever Auburn-Alabama game experience, Auburn went into Coleman Coliseum and took care of business. So we're off to a good start. Reed was not happy. But I'm actually a little bit excited that she wasn't happy because that means she cares about college basketball now. She was upset about it. But no, it was a tough couple hours at the Crain household, but, I sucked it up and got through it.
Yeah, 5 for 26 from 3.
Walk into your trap, take over your trap?
That's what happened. The trap got taken over.
Hey, the kitchen made a sandwich.
Hey, you better guard your trap now in the year.
Look, Bama's good.
Dude. Hey, they're coming.
What matters is March. I love how you brought up the SEC. Did y'all see that new AP that just came out?
The AP Top 25?
Pull us up. 9 teams. 9 teams from the SEC. I guess it just takes the SEC being down in football one year to really piss them off, to just say, screw it, we're just going to go beat everybody in basketball. Guys, look at that. Look at that top 7.
You got Auburn 1, Florida 2, Bama 4, Tennessee 6, A&M 7. Then you go down a little bit, Missouri at 15, which that's going to be a hell of a game. They play Alabama at home on Wednesday. Kentucky at 17. Who thought we'd be talking about the SEC?
Look at that,
littering the top 25 and Kentucky's at 17.
Look at that 11 through 14, boys. Yeah.
Yeah, Big Ten. Big Ten, Wisconsin, Michigan, Purdue, Michigan State.
I'll get to them.
Yeah, we'll get to
them.
It's nuts, man.
Who's
dominant?
Who's overrated, underrated? Remember we did this a couple weeks ago, and you said Florida's vastly underrated. I think it was.
They scare me more than any other team They scare me more than Duke. They just got hand Glockton back, another one of their exciting white trees that they have running around. Condon's going to be fine. Has a low ankle sprain, kind of similar to what Jedi.
Missouri's an underrated basketball.
And I feel like Missouri's kind of built for the tournament, too. You talk about high flying, everybody's shooting. They got this Caleb Grill kid who's from Wichita, Kansas, he'll shoot it when the plane lands and the bus stops.
I love it.
He's within range.
How about Maryland and Memphis right now? How do you feel about those two?
Memphis to me is just too up and down. Auburn played them early in the year. I've watched them. They just lost to Wichita State too. I don't think Memphis is built to make a run. I don't think Maryland really is either. I think Purdue's overrated too, to be honest with you.
They got a big one tonight.
They got a huge one tonight against Michigan State, who obviously we know what happened with Michigan State and Illinois, which we're going to get to in a little bit. But if you want to know what's going on with your health, maybe I don't know, your metabolism's working properly. Are you burning mostly fats or you're burning carbs? Well, we have a companion for you. And our friends over at Lumen, and we thank them for sponsoring this episode, have a fantastic product that can do just that. And here's how it works. You simply breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and you learn whether your body is burning mostly fats or carbs. It's a scouting report for your health. All right, the companion app then provides you with a personalized nutrition plan for the day that's based on your measurements. So it's personalized. You can even take your measurements before and after workouts and meals to understand exactly what's happening to your body in real time. Because we know metabolism is your body's engine. It's how it converts food into fuel. So knowing your metabolic health, it can help you with everything, whether you're trying to lose weight, maintain weight, gain weight, whatever. So take the next step to improving your health. Go to lumen.me/booster. That's lumen.me/booster to get 20% off your Lumen. That's lumen.me/booster. Head over there for 20% off your purchase. And again, thank you, Lumen, for making our health better and sponsoring this episode. You guys are the best. But what's your best, Coney?
My best. Bring that graphic back up one more time. Where does Dusty May have Michigan ranked?
Dude, y'all are
Number
cooking.
12. That's my best right there. And how about going into Columbus, getting that 3-point win on the road against the Buckeyes? Dusty May, Sharon Moore, both going into Columbus, taking care of business.
How big is basketball for Michigan fans?
You know,
like how big is it? Like
they really
obviously
got
football's
good. When I was there, 06 to 2010, the basketball team just wasn't great. We had some really good players, but the basketball program wasn't great. Honestly, the Chris Webber scandal set Michigan back decades, man. It just really hurt the program because obviously the Fab Five. I mean, that was one of the coolest eras in the sport, and it happened at Michigan. That thing set Michigan basketball back. But after John Beilein got that thing rolling and they played Louisville, and they had Trey Burke, when Trey Burke won Player of the Year, and Tim Hardaway Jr. and those guys, and they went to the championship and lost to Louisville. That's when some real momentum got going. And he went to a couple national championships. Obviously, Juwan Howard didn't get the job done, but I think Dusty May's got things back on track.
Are you worried about losing Dusty? How
yeah, of course. This is what we were talking about. I was talking about this with Indiana fans in the cigar bar this weekend. Like, this was the Kirk Cignetti talk of Indiana football, right? Like, oh, you got Indiana football in a good place. Are you scared after 1 year someone will come in and poach him like the University of Florida or something like that? Well, yeah, it's as much as Michigan prides itself on its basketball, it's still a football program.
Yeah, but that kind of like Auburn and Alabama too. I mean, I guess there's a ceiling. Or
if he left and went to coach Indiana basketball, like, I wouldn't shame him. I just think we're in a spot right now where you could do as much at Michigan basketball as you could at Indiana.
Oh, I agree 100%. Indiana basketball right now, and I know we got a bunch of Nebraska football fans that watch this, but I'm going to be honest. Indiana basketball is the Nebraska football of college basketball. Great in the past. You have a big fan base. You're willing to spend money, but you just can't seem to get it back on the road.
I agree with that, but I think both of those things, Indiana basketball and Nebraska football, could return to prominence.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them. It's great for the sport. All right, let's get to worst. Guys, I've watched a lot of sports in my life. I've watched a lot of basketball games, watched some NBA games, but it's mainly been college basketball. And I saw something this weekend that I have never seen before. And if you're in the chat or in the comments, and there's another example of this, please point it out to me because I've never seen it. We had a technical foul called before the game between Missouri and Georgia even started. It was at Georgia because Missouri put a guy in the starting lineup to go out there that they did not have penciled into the starting lineup, that I guess they give the cards to the referees and every team knows who's starting. So before the game even starts, right, we literally have a technical free throw being shot. There's 20 minutes on the clock, guys. How do you make that mistake? It's almost as bad as the mistake Blaine's about to make. Maybe about to not make. Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
But he's about to tell you about it. How do you screw this one up? I have never seen that before. Please, somebody give me an example.
So was there no jump ball either after that? Georgia got the basketball?
I believe Georgia got to shoot a free throw, and they got possession.
What's the foul? What's the exact foul?
So you have the starting lineup that just like
technical
so
foul.
It's got to be a technical.
It's a technical. It's a dead ball technical because there's no time that's.
So I saw one thing like this in high school basketball, right? And I was a freshman, and you weren't allowed in warm-ups to dunk the basketball.
Right?
I saw that one of our guys, like he didn't dunk it, but the definition of a dunk is to be over the cylinder whatsoever. And so instead of like a finger roll, he was too far over the cylinder. So the other team got to open up with a technical foul and get the basketball.
Well, I had the over in this game, so when I saw it was 1-0 with 20 minutes on the clock, I was like, "Oh, good. Can we got another? Let's look at Georgia's lineup card.
Let's keep this pace up."
Yeah, I love the start. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't noticed, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're dropping new segments of our new show, Locker Room Talk. So make sure you're subscribed and keep up with that, as well as all the beautiful things here at Crain & Company Goes to College.